Why is it that some students seem to remember everything they study, while others forget almost everything the moment they close the book? We blame distractions. We blame laziness. We blame pressure. But in truth, the real reason is this. Most students were never taught how to learn. In Japan, it's different. Here, learning is not a struggle. It's an art, a sacred process passed down through generations, rooted in discipline, focus, and brain-based techniques that most people around the world have never even heard of. So how do they do it? What do Japanese students know that most of us don't? Let's start from the core. 1. The power of fude, hanpuku. In Japanese learning culture, repetition isn't just mindless review. It's intentional. It's spiritual. They believe that by repeating the same thing over and over, the essence of the information enters the soul. This technique is structured. A student will review something once immediately after learning, then again after 10 minutes, again after 24 hours, then after 3 days, and finally after 1 week. This is a version of spaced repetition, now validated by neuroscience, and widely used in tools like Anki, a flashcard system many Japanese students swear by. When you follow this timeline, you fight the forgetting curve. You don't just memorize, you encode. 2. The food pen principle, writing to remember. Most Japanese students handwrite everything, over and over again. Not just once, dozens of times. There's a reason behind it. Writing engages multiple senses, visual, motor, and cognitive, forcing the brain to slow down and deeply process the material. They call it shijing, shakyo, the practice of copying something sacred. When students copy vocabulary, kanji, or grammar rules again and again, it's like etching into memory with a chisel. Typing is passive. Writing is active memory formation. 3. The Kaizen method, studying in micro-improvement loops. Japanese students are taught to improve little by little every day. This is Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement. Instead of studying 8 hours once a week, they do 30 minutes daily without fail. It's consistent, it's quiet, but it compounds. Kaizen rewires the brain to associate learning with habit, not pressure. Even 1% better each day leads to exponential growth. That's how they build unstoppable recall over time. 4. Shadowing, speaking out loud for deeper encoding. This is powerful, especially in language learning. Japanese students practice shadowing, listening to a passage in English or another subject, then immediately repeating it out loud, mimicking the tone, rhythm, and phrasing. This forces the brain to process information auditorily, verbally, and cognitively at once. The more senses you involve, the stronger the memory trace becomes. This works for definitions, science explanations, historical events, anything. If you want to remember something forever, say it aloud. 5. Mind mapping and visual kanji systems. Japanese learners often break down complex concepts into visual systems. They draw mind maps, use color-coded notes, and in the case of learning kanji, break symbols into radicals, then associate them with stories. For example, the kanji for tree looks like a tree. 2 trees together mean grove. 3 trees mean forest. That's mnemonic layering. This technique turns abstract symbols into stories, making them unforgettable. This works for any subject, even math, even chemistry. 6. The rule of teach to learn. There's a saying in Japan, if you want to master something, teach it. Japanese students often study in pairs or small groups, not to quiz each other, but to teach each other. When you explain something, you expose your weak spots. When you teach, you're forced to simplify. And when you simplify, you understand. This is called the Feynman technique in the West, and it's one of the fastest ways to retain complex information. 7. Zen-like focus, study without multitasking. In Japan, when you study, you only study. No music, no tabs, no multitasking. They create a sacred space for focus. Clean desks, quiet rooms, no distractions.
It's not about the time you spend, but the quality of your attention. 20 minutes of focused Japanese-style study will beat 2 hours of distracted scrolling and reading every time. Now, imagine combining these techniques. Reviewing your flashcards using spaced repetition. Writing down each concept by hand multiple times. Teaching it to a friend the same evening. Then shadowing the explanation out loud. All while staying focused. Just 30 minutes a day. This is how Japanese students turn learning into second nature. It's not magic. It's not genetics. It's intelligent practice, done consistently. So if you've ever felt like your brain isn't made for remembering, maybe it's not your brain that's the problem. Maybe it's your method. Change the method, and you'll change everything. You don't need to study harder. You just need to study like the Japanese. But how do you actually apply these techniques in your own life? In part 2, I'll show you the exact steps to study like the Japanese, and finally, remember everything you learn.